What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Convos in the Cave. I am Mel. And before we get into this topic, right? Before we get into this topic that I want to talk about, remember, click that like, comment, subscribe button, click the notification bell on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Please, guys, run them numbers up. Let's run them numbers up. And, all right. So before we get into this topic that I want to talk about, I just want to say, get mad. Get mad. They told everything. Hold up. Wait a minute. They told everything. Get mad. Cheese in the chat. I want to give a shout out to my boy PB, man. For those who don't know, Piper Boy Williams. I want to give a big, huge shout out to my boy. Pause on the name. I'm going to call him PB for now on. But again, I'm going to say it one last time. I want to give a huge shout out to Piper Boy Williams. Pause. No matter what you guys say about that brother, he's shown nothing but love and support to my channel. And even though I'm a low tier blogger, right? I'm a low tier blogger. I don't have that many subscribers. He still take time out his busy day to give me a shout out or to say anything, right? I got 2 comments from him in my history of blogging, but I just want to shed some light, even though that's not much, right? People may say that it's not much. To you guys, it's not much. But to me, it means everything. I appreciate you, Piper Boy. Pause. Damn. Yeah, so I want to give a huge shout out to, because he take time out his day to reply in my comments, you know what I mean? Even though he put the eyes, y'all may think it's nothing, but it's something to me, and I just take that as a positive connotation to him just showing love and letting me know that he see me out here working, right? So I just want to really thank him, and I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. The culture needs you, you know what I'm saying? You know, the way you blog and the way I blog, we probably don't align, but for the most part of everything, you know, we are blogging with good intentions, and I want to shout out to you for that, and also for supporting me. So no matter what they say about you, PB, bro, you always got my support. Being that you was the first one out of the bloggers that's kind of on the next level that showed me love. I appreciate you for that, my boy. So, without further ado, we are here to talk about the John the Don topics. We are here to spread the narratives, you know what I mean? But hopefully you guys understand that I'm not coming from a sense of malice when I'm talking about John. And I'm actually going to go on a limb and say I'm on his side, man. I'm on his side. And even though I'm letting you guys know that I'm choosing sides and I'm siding with John, I want you guys to understand my point of view, because this situation is coming from a messy narrative, as you can see, from everything that everybody's been talking about. It's messy, right? And you can see that he's not the sole blame, right? That's obvious, which a lot of people in the industry or in the culture is trying to do. They trying to solely blame John, and they looking for a fall guy, right? Even though, to be honest, being that bullpen name is on this card, and they the front runners, like, this it's been hosted by bullpen. It been a lot of people that was involved in this and solidifying these battles, right? And if y'all don't take anything out of it, you have to understand this, that too many hands was in the pot here for you to pinpoint one person. You know what I mean? And John is only human. And I've from what I've watched of John, I have not gotten that side of him where it was anything done in with negative intentions, right? I haven't gotten that side. So until the facts really come out, if his lawyer's involved and all of the information comes out to tell me otherwise, I'm going to side with him. Now, opposed to you other bloggers, it's obvious what y'all trying to do, man. Where's the love for John, bro? You know, and I pulled up Battle Facts, and shout out to Battle Facts. He's been doing a great job with covering the battle rap, and I think that he may be one of the ones that get Battle Rap Blogger of the Year. You know, with all his work that he put into it. But I feel like this whole John the Don situation, he's kind of on a fence to as where he's against John, and I don't know if it's because he don't want to, you know, pull up to his channel or his platform and speak about any situations, or if he feels a certain type of way towards or if they feel a certain type of way towards each other. But I from all of the information that I gathered by watching Battle Facts blog, I can assure you that he's not siding with John. And he and you can hear it in every which way of the debates that he be having with these not the debates, the interviews that he be having with these other entities that's involved with the whole bullpen Endgame event with Cassidy. So like I said, shout out to Battle Facts and go follow him, guys. If you guys are not in tune with the culture, hit up his channel, and because what I'm definitely going to do a video right now on his channel, but I'm going to play a small portion of some information that I think is going over our heads, and then I'm going to play a Hip Hop Is Real video, and we're going to go through that whole conversation that Knowledge had with John, because John has spoken. You know what I mean? And like I said, guys, I'm choosing John's side here, right? And I tell you why. So we're gonna look at some video and we're gonna come back with some commentary. Battle Facts, it's on you, man.
Does the rapper not get her money? Did she not get her back in? Because it's been reported that several battle rappers haven't got their back in from the event. Danny Myers came up here, interviewed. Sirius Jones came up here, say he got his money late. We done had Jay Mills say he had to wait on some money late. And other battlers have hit me up and told me that they didn't get their money for an event that John did or whatever, and decided not to say their name or show their faces or whatever. And I respect.
And that's another thing that I want you guys to take from this. I'm sorry, I will be stopping this video occasionally just to, you know, shed my light on some aspects that I feel is deemed for my opinion, right? So I want you guys to understand, when you guys are looking at all of these videos, right, it's one thing to say John is not paying the battle rappers, right? But then there's another thing to say Sirius Jones got paid late, Jazz the Rapper got paid late, who else? Jay Mills got paid. So even whether it's late or not, if somebody has gotten paid, how can we continue to push the narrative of battle rappers are not getting paid? It's clear and cut as to people that is that. It's clear and cut that there are people that's getting paid, right? But it may not be to the magnitude of getting paid on time, but they're getting paid. But as you can see, people are getting fully funded. You know what I'm saying? As far as this battle goes, it's just certain people aren't, and you can tell it's a breakdown, and it's more behind the scenes and not solely on John. So I'm gonna play this video, but I just want to say this: as you can see, is more than one investor in this in this event, and I can see how some people got paid and some people haven't gotten paid, to whereas it can fall on John's shoulders. It's like we're picking somebody to blame at this point, but nobody is picking nobody to blame when they got paid. So how can we just solely say John is not paying? So that's just something for us to think about before we get into it.
That's on them. I won't say their name if they didn't want me to or whatever. I was just gonna provide them with a platform. So that's the backstory. I'm gonna get to these memberships and then I'm gonna call the investor. All right, we got Connecticut.
All right, so pay attention. He said I'm gonna call the investor. He's gonna get to the memberships, then he's gonna call the investor. So I want y'all to stay with me here because I'm on to something. I was thinking about this yesterday when I was listening to the video, and I'm like, This is all over the place.
Finest new member. Hold on. Appreciate you, Connecticut's Finest. You always support, man. That ain't nothing new. Welcome back to the Facts List. I believe you was a member before. Shout out Lost Souls 7-2 with the first super chat of the day. I appreciate that, Lost Souls. Double O came with the 10 gifted. We got a celebrity that got a membership. Darian.
I'm just fast forwarding it so we get to this meat and
G-Mac,
potatoes.
saw your comment, said the show. All right, let's get investor. You can go ahead and call in. Welcome everybody to the Facts List. All right, let's get to it. I'm about to tell the investor. You can go ahead and call in. Let me make sure we connected.
So here we go. Here we go,
y'all
guys.
make sure y'all put a 1 in the chat. When he calls in, and y'all let me know if y'all can hear him, so I don't have to ask y'all when he do. Just put a 1 in the chat as soon as y'all can hear him. Call now. And we're gonna get to the bottom of this, y'all. He did provide some receipts that I will be putting up on the screen as he's talking. There we go, right here. Let's get to it. Yo, what's going on, man?
What's up, Zach?
What's up, man? We got a super chat real quick. Say finally, not an hour late. Shout out Facts, good signing today by your Lions. Facts with Aiden Hutchinson. Okay, listen, y'all. All questions, you want your questions asked to my guy on the phone. Y'all know the super chat. That's how I get prioritized. I am go focus on him talking and me asking the questions and him letting y'all know what's going on. Y'all got any questions? Super chat or at least be a member. All right, what's up? How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing good, How about yourself, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm glad we finally about to get to the bottom of this situation that's been ongoing. I know you've been feeling the way about the things that's been said. You know what I'm saying? Also.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've been took away.
All right. So give me a summary real quick before I get to asking you questions of what's going on with this situation.
Well, the big summary is that John became asked for my help for an event that he was doing with Cassidy. And, I came through. We had an agreement, everything on the agreement that we had, I did, which was really just, getting money for the event. I am the investor in the sense that I got the investor. I got the guy to bring the bread. And I
Sorry, guys.
was just kind of working the logistics out for everybody.
I'm going to play it back.
And I was just kind of working the investor in the sense that getting money for the event. I was really just, getting money for the event. I am the investor in the sense that I got the investor. I got the guy to bring the bread.
I am the investor in a sense that I got the investor to bring the bread. What? What are we talking about? Let me let him finish, and then we're going to move on to John's, the Don interview with Hip Hop is Real. I'm going to let him, explain himself.
And I was just kind of working the logistics out for everybody.
Gotcha.
And so he got everything we agreed upon in the contract. And then he disappeared.
All right,
so
that's that. Now, I'm not going to go into too much. I just want you to guys hear. He said I am an investor in the sense of getting an investor. Bro, you're a middleman, man. You're a middleman and with no name. So let's go into the Don interview with Hip Hop is Real.
So to be
Sorry,
clear,
guys. Let me just play this back. Bear with me. We're gonna jump right into this next window, and here we are. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be fluent with this, so bear with me. All right, let's get it. John, it's on you.
Last year or two within bullpen outside of just supporting what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Now, how do you feel about, just the recent, conversations about, people feeling like you've been doing bad business, an investor came out speaking against your letter and things like that and saying that, you're
investor
wrong.
Came out?
See?
That he claimed to be somebody who was representing
Is
the
it a
investor.
name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I didn't have a name for him. I'm not
Does
gonna
anybody
lie.
have a name? So this investor came out, and there's no name for this investor. And so who was it? A video call?
The video
see
doesn't
him?
even say his name. I believe the video just says investor comes
So
out.
there's no video, there's no footage. It's like he's not.
Yeah, I
saying
think it's just
his
audio
name.
of him speaking.
Right off the back, right? And I'm so mad I didn't do this video yesterday because these were the questions that I was having to myself, right? And I wanted to jump. I was cooking for the kids and stuff, so it was hard for me to get down here. And I'm mad that I didn't do this before John came out because I want you guys to actually witness how aligned me and John's thought process was. And it's, first of all, you're calling an investor, you're calling him an investor, and he's not an investor. He's just a middleman. You know what I mean? And then he pulls up to Facts Channel with no name. So he must have wanted to be nameless on Facts Channel. He chose to be nameless. That's not credible sources right there, bro. So as a blogger, right, this is where I critique Hip Hop Is Real and Battle Facts. This is where I critique them because they didn't do their due diligence to get the facts straight with the credible sources, so that way there's a name to the faces. You know what I mean? And there's somebody to hold accountable when something is said that's out of line. And this is where I side with John at. And this is what the problem that I have with Hip Hop Is Real and Battle Facts. And them some cool brothers, right? From what I've seen, they nothing but stand-up dudes. But when it comes to this content, you can tell that they go above and beyond, and it's by any means necessary. It's basically COE, content over everything. And in this video, we're gonna really shed light on how John the Don exposed all of you guys, man. And this is facts. Whether the truth comes out that John is the one who's getting paid, or John told the truth on his side of the story, and he's the winner of this whole debacle. No matter how the judge and the jury sway this storyline, right? I just want you guys to hear how John the Don exposed these battlers, and it was so well said and put together. And then we're gonna have some commentary about what's really going on. Sorry, guys, I just wilded out on everybody.
So anybody just called, and then this is an investor. So somebody
Facts.
called somebody and said that they're an investor.
Yes, they basically were talking for the investor who invested in your event, and basically saying that you
So
didn't pick up, you weren't.
We're going with a they. We're going with a any. Hold on, I just want to be clear.
All right.
I just want to be clear.
Okay.
So you telling me somebody said something, right?
Yes.
But you can't tell me who.
I can't. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right then and there, sorry, bro. This is so cringy. Right then and there, interview is over, bro. Facts, you trying to tell me you watched Battle Facts channel, right? Because you just said that. You interviewed Slick Will, that's John Man, right? You narrated on the story for months. And you can't even get the investor name right, bro. You can't even get who's the investor. You did two things that was screwed up. You didn't get the real investor on your platform, and you don't know the person who calling themselves an investor. You don't know their names. That's nasty work as a blogger, bro. I'm sorry, man. We gotta expose this. Hip Hop Is Real. Knowledge guy, you looking foolish right now, bro. And I just gotta call it what it is. And sorry, please, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe to Knowledge of God. Hip Hop Is Real. Salute to you and everything that you got moving. I'm definitely using this video for content, and I just want to shed some light on things, but I'm not mad at you, brother. I just want to tell the truth, and I just want to let you know that there's two sides to every story, and no malice behind this, bro. Let's get
Look
it.
like
Nothing.
you can't tell me your name.
No.
Can you tell me a company he represents?
No.
Oh my God, bro.
And this
How
person
you
that he
answering
talked
these
to is
questions like this?
a credible
No.
source?
I mean, he's one of the new bloggers coming up in the game. You know what I'm saying? He's been doing
credible
work in the
source?
culture, so
Like
you know
he has an official opinion on anything? Is it a credible source? Like who? Like
I mean,
what? Like
people listen to him. He has a platform, and you know
he's
he's
listening to anybody.
Yo, I just want to know, why is Knowledge of God not saying no name? People listen to him. He has a platform. He's an up and coming blogger. Bro, stop, bro. Come on, man.
Like,
He's been
people
making
listen,
his waves in the
but
culture, so
this
you
is
know.
the point I'm making. People
Right.
listen to
Him.
anybody.
Facts.
So you about to ask me questions about what somebody said that nobody could say who they are. There's no name.
Right.
There's no face of this person. So we are about to entertain a ghost just because this ghost spoke on John the Don. I just want to be clear on what's going on here.
That's true. Yes.
This
yes.
is the culture we in. I just want to be clear on what's going on here.
Yes.
Somebody can call a random blogger that some people listen to
Right.
and
Yes,
tell them
he's killing
business
hip-hop.
that they had
I mean, knowledge
with
the guy. He's
John the
killing
Don.
it, bro.
And we don't even care to check the source to the point of finding out who this person is, let alone having proof of what they are saying.
I'll say this: the most I did was speak, to Battle Facts, who's the person who actually did the interview with the guy.
All right, now we
and
got a
he
name.
basically said that dude is the dude who represents your investor. That's as much as I know, and that's as much as I can
So
say about it.
okay, so
You know what I'm
somebody can get on the call with a random blogger and say they represent.
Yes.
So a call could come into somebody.
Like me, if it was me, I'd call you
Like
first.
this
I'm not gonna
nigga
lie.
is
Like,
so credible
okay.
that he can find somebody to say they are something without saying who they are. In journalism, anywhere,
Nah,
you have to have a credible source for it to be any type of validation.
Right.
But we
And that's a fact, and that goes back to the sports world and any social media. Any media, the news, everything. You have to have a credible source. And for those who don't know, I remember this. This is aside from battle rap and stuff like that. Remember when Stephen A. Smith was going through it with Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics, and they was kind of They was trying to assassinate Jaylen Brown's character, saying that he's not marketable and stuff like that. And Stephen A. Smith kept on saying, "I have a credible source, but I'm not giving no names." And Jaylen Brown said, "Name your source." Right now, if you can't name your source, it's not credible, bro. You just really. That's just a thing in the media world. So this is what John the Don referring to, and he has every right to say this. You know what I mean?
are in a climate in battle rap. If we want to have a story on somebody, we don't care who comes with the story. We're gonna cover the story.
Okay.
That's what's going
fair.
on
That's
here.
nasty work.
Can you agree with
No,
that?
that's fair.
What's going on.
No, that's fair.
He didn't agree, so
Because
that's fair.
we are about to talk about somebody that said
Facts,
they
bro.
are the what to the investor?
They're like a middleman to the investor.
They're like a middleman to an investor.
You making me sound crazy.
But
man.
no,
No.
it's not you. It's not
See,
you.
this is what John Don have to stop. No, you sound crazy, bro. Knowledge was straight unprepared, and he got smoked by John in the beginning of this conversation. I don't know how it's going to end, but he got smoked because he went and pulled John out of the woodworks with no preparation, bro. He's so unprepared, it's cringy watching him. And this is something that he do on a daily. He just haven't had that one person that's gonna expose knowledge to God when he does this type of behavior. You feel me? This is just what it is, right? And this is just sad. It's sad, bro. We really out here looking foolish just for content, man.
You're saying what's going on.
Nah,
That's
that's
I'm
exactly
saying
what's
the way
happening.
exactly.
Yeah, okay, it
And see
sounds
how-
crazy,
See
yes.
how crazy this
Yeah,
sounds.
it sounds a little crazy.
And
yeah.
this video is titled that people are calling him the investor, but in
Yes.
the interviews,
But he's not truly
He's the
the investor.
middleman to the investor.
That's
All
the
right, so
fact.
So he's
He
not
was
really
being
We all heard
presented
facts.
as the investor.
We all heard facts
he was
says.
being
Did the
presented
title
The
of the
investor gonna
video
pull
say
up.
the middleman to the investor?
Nah, I think it
or
said
the
the
investor.
I believe it said
Okay.
the investor.
Okay, so he was presented as the investor, made out to be the middleman to the investor,
That's what he. Yes.
with no name or no face attached to these claims. And we are about to get into the story of the man of the hour.
Right.
Because there's so many blogs about this,
Right.
and this is the source y'all got. And I'm just pointing this out, not to blame you, Knowledge,
Yeah.
No,
not to blame anybody that's doing this shit.
Right.
You know what?
Just
I'll
look-
do it. I'll do it. If John don't want to do it, I'll do it. Knowledge. That's nasty work, bro. You wasn't prepared, man. You wasn't prepared, Knowledge. You wasn't prepared for John the Don to come at you at that angle, right? You thought that he was going to try to defend himself as far as clear his name and let you guys know, or not even be able to clear his name because you really believed in the storyline that was put out on John John. That's what happened. You really believed it, and you thought that this was going to be a type of interview that you are able to question him and get him to sound foolish, but the tables was turned, and you was not prepared, bro. It's clown activity. Where I'm from, we call that clown activity, man. You clown activity, you clown activity niggas, man. But I'm not you're a good dude, but this whole process of you getting information on the situation is just done wrong, bro. You need to go back to the drawing board, man. And I'm gonna say it for John John if you don't want to say it.
At the state of the culture we are in.
Right.
Just look at it. So I see this, and you think it's getting to me? No, I don't watch this shit. I don't watch shit I don't want to watch.
Even if it's on your name, and
even
people
if it's
talking
on my
down
name, I don't watch it if I don't want to watch it.
Okay.
I watch Will interview.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's
your family.
that's somebody I got a respect for. I got to see what he say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, why would I watch? Of course, if somebody that I know that's not involved in any business of mine is speaking on business of mine, why do I care to watch it to see if they know the facts when I know they don't know the facts?
Right.
I know because you was not included in the business.
Gotcha.
So now I'm gonna watch you say a bunch of wrong shit and be triggered enough to go back and forth with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now that validates your platform and your opinion on what's going on when I knew you didn't know what you was talking about from jump.
So he's talking about Battle Facts, right? If you guys listen to Battle Facts interview, Battle Facts said to some of the investors, or whichever one it was, that John the Don refused to come to his platform and explain himself, which when that don't happen, that give the media people the okay to just spread any type of narrative. And I think that that's false, right? And that's one of the reasons why I'm here talking and choosing John John's side, because that's just corny behavior, bro. As a man, right? So you're telling me because if somebody don't want to come up to your platform and express their side of the story, so you can just have a whole debate back and forth in your channel to grow, you're going to just say, I gave you the opportunity to express yourself, but now that you're not, I'm going to make a narrative on you. And that's exactly what Battle Facts is doing. And that's why, aside from Hip Hop Is Real doing that sucker clown shit that he's doing, Battle Facts is doing some other clown shit in his own right? And I want to expose that, because just because the man don't want to come to your platform doesn't mean that you got to choose a side and say to John John's man, oh, he has to pull up and justify himself. No, he don't. But just know, I'm okay with saying, yo, if John John is in the wrong, I'm okay with saying, my bad, I chose your side. Because, I mean, I'm okay with just admitting that I was wrong for choosing John John's side if John John is in the wrong, right? But one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to just pick a side or make a narrative and I don't know the facts. So the only thing that I can do is be a stand-up man and believe what John John is saying. I'm not going to just say he's not paying people and he's corny for that. No, I want to know what the reasons are behind it. And that's all you can do as men. You can't make a narrative because somebody didn't put up to your platform. So, okay, I'm just choose a side and say you're in a negative. You can't just choose negative as men. That's my whole thing I'm trying to say, right? At some point, you got to give the benefit of the doubt. John the Don is not known for doing shit like this, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And this is why I'm choosing the side. And Battle Facts is just mad he's not on the platform, so what he do? He want to make John look bad in every aspect by pulling up people to his platform that's going against John, and then trying to soften it up by pulling up John's man, right? And then when John man Slick sides with John, Battle Facts still try to put narratives out there and to get Slick to think differently, or to question, or to have set up questions where Slick don't have a way to answer it because he don't got no facts behind it. It's just all clown activity, and I see it. I see it, bro, and I'm calling it out right now. So I'm going to be standing here when the facts come out. You guys better hope that John is not right, because I'm putting everybody on blast. That's going to probably be my most viewed blog, because I'm going nuts on you niggas.
Just to be clear,
I'm
you
not-
didn't even watch it. You never even seen it. Okay.
No,
Okay.
no. People mentioned it to me. People brought it up to me.
Right.
And shit like that. But no. Because
Oh.
the first thing I asked, I'm like, all right, so who is the person? I don't know. What's his name? I don't know. What he look like? I don't know. So I'm like, so why am I entertaining this? How is this a thing? Now you see a bunch of fucking blogs picking up on this, and nobody can say a name or anything.
Right.
But this is stamped to the point where it's the topic in battle rap right now.
Right.
And you wonder why certain niggas don't want to be involved in this shit, because it's not about the raps.
That's true.
It's not about the raps. I just had a fire battle with Swamp.
Yes, you did. One of the best
I
battles
just had
this
a
year.
fire battle with Swamp, but y'all rather talk about an event that happened a year ago. Think about this.
Right.
And y'all not directly impacted by it. Y'all don't care. The people that's doing this shit don't care enough about, like, I had high hopes for it. It's probably the same people that was talking bad about it before it happened. Talking bad about me before it happened. So it's like, come on. So why would I entertain this or feel it? Only becomes a problem like now when people are picking up on random shit that's being said.
Right.
So before we get into this interview, I just wanted to let it be clear to everybody
That we talking
how
about somebody we
fucked
don't
up
know?
this shit is. We are about to talk about some shit pertaining to a business of mine, my business. Y'all care about my business so much. Y'all speak with a ghost that can say whoever they are. Like this, like what? So imagine a world where you could just call and say you anybody pertaining to anything and say anything. You could, like, a lot of shit could happen.
Right.
Bad shit could happen behind that. But
No, listen, I agree. I would say this though. The reason a lot of this conversation I seen was brought up was people seeing the battles were coming out on Tubi.
right.
You know, and then you made a statement on Twitter, like a letter, and you put out, you know, basically, you know,
Yeah.
the reason and you not having any situation to do with the Tubi and everything like that.
Right.
And that's when I guess this random middleman investor guy comes out and he
Random
basically
middleman
said you're
investor
tripping,
guy
he's
now.
bugging. Why would John put
Knowledge,
that?
man.
He knows everything.
So
You know what I'm saying?
let me just ask this.
Okay.
In my statement, I said I had nothing to do with the Tubi thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Now
And he's saying you did, or you know about it, or whatever.
No, did he say if I had anything to do with it?
He's saying you had knowledge on all of this. Like you taking yourself out, acting as if you don't know or you don't have.
Doesn't
anything.
matter if I knew or not.
Okay.
I said I had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Did I say I never knew nothing about it?
Nah, you didn't say that.
I said I had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Did this person say, no, he did have something to do with it? Or did he say he knew about
He
it?
said you knew about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So where's the issue?
I guess people are looking at it as if you got paid. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
you made money.
if
off
I had
of this
nothing to
Tubi.
do with it,
Okay.
that means I did not get paid.
Right.
So now what?
All right. So I guess because I feel like I feel like you addressed this before, even the day of it happened when we spoke and you did your recap and things like that. But it's a year later. Now that all this time has happened and things like that, what really happened in Endgame? You know what I'm saying? We know Cassidy got sick or whatever, but like, what happened? Why is it at this point where it's like it's still going and could potentially
I'ma
go
try-
to like lawsuits and shit?
I'm gonna try to sum it up the best I can, but before I do that, I want to say I am working on a documentary which will cover a lot of shit to do with bullpen, everything, so I don't want to give away too much.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I'm still gonna try to answer the question.
Okay.
But you got to be more specific
All
in
right,
the questions. I'm not about to just.
Let me start with this then.
Yo, man, I tell you this, man. If John and Don come out with a documentary, right? And let's say it come out next week, I don't know, right? And this documentary, it's cleared legally and stuff like that. And he's able to expose any of what or debunk any of the narratives that have been placed on him. I'm really eager to see how's that gonna translate to the media, right? Because he's been real quiet, and now that he's starting to talk, I'm assuming he got some type of traction. So, I just hope everything aligns, and it is what it is. But if he gets to debunk a lot of these narratives, y'all gonna have to do a lot of ass kissing, bro.
In your statement, you put out everything fell apart because of Cassidy.
Yeah.
Now, why wasn't it rescheduled? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Cassidy was such an integral part of it being a success, he said he was sick the day of. You know what I'm saying? When you found out the day of, like 10, 11 in the morning, like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody could, that's horrible for anybody, for any event or anything like that. But why wasn't a conversation continue to where we can repair it and make it happen, and it doesn't have to be so, you know what I'm saying, crazy at this point? You know what I mean?
Trying to think of the confidentiality clause in these contracts. What I can and can't say. But I will say this. If it was to be rescheduled, that wouldn't have been up to me.
Okay.
That wouldn't have been up to me. If the parties involved wanted it rescheduled, they could have rescheduled it. Me personally wouldn't have been able to reschedule it because I didn't have the rights to that battle.
But isn't it a bullpen
Personally,
event? Isn't it your battle, your event?
Yeah,
your
bullpen was
situation?
the host of the event.
Okay.
All right, I'm in that video right there. As you can see, John Dunn has spoken, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get the whole interview, go on Knowledge of God's channel, Hip Hop is Real. Subscribe to the channel and take a look at the video, right? So what I got from this, right, my summarization of this whole thing is that, first of all, it was too many people involved, right? That's one thing, right? And being that there was too many people involved, I'm assuming that it seems as though that they split it up in three different type of scenarios, right? Where you have John the Don, who was just the host, right? Bullpen was the host of the event Endgame. Then you had one entity who was just funding the battle rappers aside from John the Don and Cassidy, right? This is what it seems as though to me. And then you have let's say, I don't know, Slick Will or whoever that is funding a different portion of the battlers, right? And then one thing I can say is everybody got paid their front end, just some remaining battle rappers haven't gotten paid their back end, right? So I don't know if it's one person was responsible for the front half and then other entities was responsible for the back portion of it. But along the lines, it seems as though they ran out of money, and somebody said, "Yo, I'm not going into my own pockets and giving these guys any money because we already wasted, I don't know, a lot of money on Cassidy who didn't pay." So from what I see is that I think that the back end portion maybe was, it could have been Slick Will and John the Don back end, which John may have paid some of the battle rappers like Serious Jones or whoever, Jay Mills or Jazz the Rapper, their part out of his pocket, right? And wasn't able financially to pay everyone, being that Cassidy still owed his portion of it for not showing. Maybe John was going to use that money and allocate it towards those battle rappers, but since Cassidy didn't give the money back, now he's saying, Cassidy, you bring it. I don't know. But it's so many hands in the pot, it only leaves narratives to speculate. But I'm trying to think of this in the most logical way, and that's how I can come up with it without making John seem as though he's the problem or he's the issue like everybody else is saying, because I don't agree with it. I don't believe it. You know what I mean? And I think that he just standing on his own too. Like, I'm not going broke paying you niggas. Let's get some lawyers involved and let's figure this shit out together. That's what I think that's happening. And being that he's not responding or reaching out how people want him to reach out, it just leaves him to create narratives, which is he is his own man. You know what I mean? So just like you guys can blog about him and choose a side, he can choose whether he don't want to talk to you guys or don't pay nobody until the lawyers get involved and stuff. That's just me. Anyway, I'm Convos in the Cave, man. My name is Mel. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Remember, click that like, comment, subscribe button. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this John situation. Talk to me. I'll talk back. That's the only way you're going to grow, man. Convos in the Cave, man. We out of here, y'all.